Gathered here are heads of anti-corruption agencies of African nations that are part of the Commonwealth. This is the 8th Commonwealth Conference of Anti-Corruption Agencies in Africa. Their mission is to brainstorm on ways to find a lasting solution to the menace of corruption that have swept over the continent like a tsunami. The anti-graft chiefs are also to seek ways to recover stolen funds hidden abroad. President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by his vice, Yemi Osinbajo, while reaffirming the commitment of his administration in the fight against corruption, said political will, strong collaboration is what Africa needs to tackle corruption.
The cost of corruption, therefore, imposes on all African countries and governments a moral obligation to fight it with vigor and political will by strengthening all institutions and systems involved in law enforcement, as well as in promoting a culture of transparency and accountability.
He said those who have stolen wealth meant for the development of the African continent are responsible for the suffering of its citizens. He noted that most of the funds kept abroad are done through the collaboration of some anonymous companies.
Yes, we know that anonymous companies are not always illegal or they're not always designated to harm. But we also know that secrecy provides a convenient cover for the criminal and the corrupt.
In her remarks, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Patricia Scotland, called for the strengthening of various anti-corruption agencies in Africa.
Globally, we are facing a tsunami of corruption. In 2015, the UNODC estimated that the amount of money laundered globally each year is between 2 and 5% of the global domestic product, or between 800 billion and 200 trillion dollars. It's estimated that corruption costs the African continent over $148 billion per annum.
There were goodwill messages from former heads of state and former South African President Thabo Mbeki.
During our time, I can assure you, we do not know anything, of the sort such as corruption. No. Yes, some of my ministers were being accused of corruption, but I can assure you it was something that we tried to make sure it does not happen, especially in our public service.
Our anti-corruption agencies must be at the center of that struggle, to make sure that we retain within our continent the resources that we need to address, as I was saying, those socio-economic development challenges.
The fact that the fight against corruption is central to the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is not accidental.
It is expected that at the end of the conference, with the theme Partnering Towards Asset Recovery, there would be a new beginning for Africa in the fight against corruption and asset recovery.